All right. I'm actually going to change what I just said. I said I'd do a lecture and then we'd move, but I think it's good to start moving. So let's begin in a seated position. So come into a cross-legged pose. What's that? I said Jalen on his way out here. Oh, good. Okay. I put I wrote something on the chalkboard. So if someone's late, hopefully they'll see that. I don't know. All right. So come into a comfortable position, cross-legged pose. Move a little side to side. Maybe shift a little forward and back. Good. And then, of course, remember you can always sit with your legs extended straight if cross-legged doesn't feel good. Good. Take a moment and really lengthen your spine nice and tall. Bring your shoulders up towards your ears, and then circle your shoulders around, back, and down. Just maybe two more like that, gentle circles, up, back, and around, up, back, and around. Give your shoulders a little shake maybe. Good. And then see if you can close your eyes. Nice, long, tall spine. And start to really incorporate the elements of the place you're in right now. So maybe you feel the sun on your skin. Feel the temperature in the air. And then just even kind of hearing that lacrosse ball that might feel distracting or annoying. See if you can just really soak in everything in this environment, let it land, really be here. And then just taking a nice scan of your body, noticing how you feel physically. Maybe notice what the mind is doing if it's very busy. Emotionally checking in. And then see if you can start to cultivate a deep sense of presence. So really just landing here in your body. Know that for the next hour or so, you don't have to worry about what's going on or tasks to complete, but really just allowing yourself to feel and to be. See if you can continue to sit nice and tall, and then let your breath be super deep. So going down into the low belly, expanding on your inhale, contracting on your exhale. And maybe even place your hands on your belly. Breathe into your hands, expand, contract. Deep breath in and exhale. Now bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let your palms touch. Good. And here, let's set our intention for the day, for the practice. Maybe choosing a word to focus on or a phrase. So intention setting can be really powerful at the beginning of each yoga class, at the beginning of your day or your week. Just getting still and clear. So asking yourself what you might need, whether it's relaxation, rest, presence, productivity, just kind of feeling into whatever's going on, setting an intention from that place. So take a deep breath in, exhale, and then press your palms together and stretch your arms up and overhead, and then reach your arms out and down by your sides. Good. Now inhale, stretch your arms down, reach them out to the sides and up. And then exhale, float your arms out and down by your sides. Good. Again, inhale, stretch your arms out and up. And then exhale, float your arms out and down. Good. Bring your hands behind your back, plant your palms down, and then bend your knees, plant your feet on the mat kind of toward the edges. And you can just kind of move your knees a little side to side. Maybe lift your hips, a little gentle sway back and forth. Good. And then come back to center, crossing at the shins, sitting tall. Let the arms come down. And then inhale, float your arms out to the sides and up. And then exhale, let your left hand come down. Stretch your right arm nice and high, and then gentle side bend. And then maybe you kind of pull that top shoulder back, really lengthen through your side. Good. And then slowly walk your hands over your leg and then towards center, and then off to the other side. Bring one hand down, stretch your other arm up and over. Good. So side bend the other way. Good. And then reach your arms all the way up, and then again, kind of lower one hand down, stretch through your side, and then circle your arms forward, and then again to the side. up in that stretch and over. Good. Keep going like that in a little flow. Good. And then pause and switch directions. So lower your right hand, left arm goes up and over, and then kind of bow over your knee. Come forward again to the side, sweep up and around. So here you might feel maybe a stretch for your back, your hips. Good. Maybe kind of opening up in your chest, your shoulders. Good. And then rise back up to center. Stretch your arms out to the sides and up. And then exhale, float your arms down. Good. Bring your left hand to your right knee and your other hand behind you. And then keep your gaze forward at first. Good. So facing the top of the mat. And then slowly start to twist through your low back. Good. Through your middle back. And then your upper back. And bring your neck to stretch. Look over your right shoulder. Good. Breathe in. Get tall. And then exhale, twist. Again, inhale, lift your spine tall. Exhale, twist. Good. And then spin around to face forward. Bring your hands onto your knees. Round your spine, shift back. Good. Lift up and then arch your spine, shift forward. Good. Come to center. Now bring your right hand to your left knee, your left hand behind your back, and then keep your gaze kind of forward. Square your shoulders forward at first. Lift tall through your spine, and then slowly start to twist. So think low back twist, mid back twist, upper back, and then your neck, gaze over that left shoulder. Good, and then spin around to face forward, release. Hands on your knees, think like a cat pose, round back. Lift up and then arch your spine, cow, shift forward. Good, and then spin around to find a tabletop position on all fours. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Really root into your knuckles, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Good, now tuck your toes and arch your spine, cow. Draw your shoulders down your back. Good, and then point your toes and round your spine, cat, chin to chest. Really round, round, round here. Good, and then two more like that. Inhaling cow, arch your spine, gaze forward or up. Good, exhale, round your spine, chin in, pull your low belly in. Good, and then one more, inhaling cow pose. Shoulders slide down, gaze forward or up. And then exhale, arch and round for cat, press the floor away, chin in. Good, and then come back to a neutral tabletop position. Good, move your hips a little side to side. Good, and then find center. Stretch your right leg back behind you. And tuck your toes and just kind of shift forward and back. Feel a stretch behind the leg. Good, now from here, see if you can lift the right leg up to a hover and then tap your toes to the mat. Good, go lift and lower. And think about kind of working into that right glute and the hip. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Now from here, bend your knee out to the side like this, and then see if you can go right knee in to tap the left, and then lift it. So think a little strengthening for your hip there. Go out, in, out. Now kick your leg straight to the side and put your foot down. Good. Tuck your left toes and shift your hips back. Maybe forearms come down. Good. And you can straighten your arms and kind of walk forward. Good. And you can look at your leg. Make sure your right foot and hip are kind of in line. You might feel good getting really into that like hamstring there on the right. Nice. And you can shift or just kind of hold and breathe into it. Good. And then straighten your arms. Plant your palms down. See if you can use your core and the strength of your leg to lift your leg out to the side. Nice. And then swing it back around behind you. Good. Now bring your left arm forward, balance, elbow and knee squeeze in. Stretch forward and back. Two more times, squeeze in. And then extend one more. Reach. Option here to bend your knee, reach back, grab your foot, maybe kick up. Awesome, nice. And then release, lower to table pose, shake your hips from side to side. Good. Now press back into a child's pose. Bring your big toes together, knees wide, hips to heels, arms stretched forward. Maybe the forehead rests on the mat. And just remember that you can always take a child's pose whenever you need. to slow down, take a break, come back to your breath. So you can skip or add on wherever it feels right for you. Just always remember that. One more breath here. Good. And then again, rise up to all fours, table pose. Good. Spread your fingers wide. Breath in. Exhale. And then bring your knees together. Stretch your left leg back behind you. Tuck your toes. Good. Shift a little forward and back. And if at any time you can't hear me, you can just kind of like make that gesture, like speak louder or just like yell, I can't hear you. Can you hear me, Jalen? Okay. Okay. Good. Now hold here and lift your left foot up. And then see if you can bring your toes to tap the mat. So lift and lower. So think about working that left glute. Make sure your toes are pointed down, so almost a little internally rotated. Good. Hold it lifted. Now bend your knee out to the side. Good. And see if you can bring left knee in towards the right. Good. Then open it out. Nice and slow. Strengthening that hip out and in. One more. Good. Lift it up. Kick your leg to the side and then put your foot down. Good. Bring your elbows or forearms down and maybe slide back a little. You can tuck your right toes, maybe shift a little forward and back. Good. And see if you can really pay attention to what's going on in that left hamstring, right in the middle behind your leg. See if you can breathe in deeply. And then slowly walk your hands back in, straighten your arms, lift your chest, and then use a strong core to lift your leg up. Good. And then maybe lower it, lift, lower, lift. Good. Swing it around back behind you. Good. Stretch your right arm forward. Good. Round your elbow and knee into center, squeeze, and then stretch forward and back. Elbow, knee, draw in. Reach it one more time, squeeze in. Extend. Now option to bend your knee, reach back, grab your foot or ankle, kick up and lift. Nice. And then release, lower down, table pose, move your hips side to side. Good. Walk towards the very back of your mat. Keep your hips over your knees and then stretch your arms forward. Keep your hips lifting. Then see if you can bring your chin down or your forehead for puppy pose. Good. Melt your heart down. If you want a little more, you can walk your hands towards one another or walk your hands further away. And then from here, slide forward onto your belly. See if you can bring your forearms down, elbows underneath your shoulders. Slide your chest through, pull, and then look over your right shoulder. And look over your left shoulder. Good. Look forward, slowly lower your belly down. Bring your hands down by your sides, palms face down, fingers forward. Inhale, rise up for a little cobra. See if you can hover your hands and just use your strong back muscles. Good. And then lower down, press into your hands, and then lift up a little higher maybe for cobra. See if you can keep your elbows kind of bent, nice and soft. You can move your hips, gaze left, gaze right. Good. From here, tuck your toes, lift up, and then back towards a child's pose. Go to the left and right, and then circle forward, right and left. So making big circles through your hips, your shoulders. Good. And then switch directions, other way, left, right, back, right, left. Good. Come center table. Now spread your fingers nice and wide, root into your knuckles, tuck your toes, and walk your feet back to plank position. Good. High plank pose. You can roll your hands a little bit, maybe shift towards the fingertips, back to the heels of the hands. Press back through your heels, strong plank. And then lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Good. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Now lift up onto your tippy toes with your heels high. And then bend your right knee, let your left heel come down. And then switch. And switch. You can be in table pose if this feels too much. Switch and switch. Little pedal and pedal. Get still. And then come up to the toes and come forward to plank position. high push-up. Good. From here, with your knees down, modified plank, bend your elbows, chaturanga. All the way to the belly, stretch your arms back behind you, palms facing one another. Inhale, rise up, locust pose. So arms, legs, strengthening the back a little. Good. And then lower down. Stretch your arms forward. Good. Keep your neck long. Now lift your right arm and your left leg up. And then lower, left arm and right leg. Go lift and lower. And keep rotating like that. Think length over height. So really important to strengthen the back. Keep your vertebrae, your spine nice and strong and supported. Good. Now see if you can lift everything up. Hold. And then lower down. Hands down by your side. Inhale, rise up for cobra pose or upward dog. Good. Where do you feel that stretch, right? Lower back? Come down like this. Does that feel a little bit better? And also, if you're feeling any pain come out of it, sometimes in a back bend like this, it helps to squeeze your glutes a little bit. So try kind of squeezing your legs and engage. Does that feel different? Or not? You can say if it doesn't. Listen to a tabletop position, and then lift your hips up and back down dog. Walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. Come forward in a fold, Uttanasana. Good. Bend your knees. Let your upper body hang nice and heavy here. Maybe you sway. Good. Then bring your hands onto your shins. Make a flat back position. Look forward. Good. Bring your hands onto your hips. Good. And then rise up to stand. Good. Circle your shoulders up, back, and around. And then take a moment to really ground in your mountain pose. So feet underneath your hips. And bring your shoulders back over your hips. Relax your arms down. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Now inhale, stretch your arms out to the sides and up. And then exhale, float your arms out to the sides and down. So think about connecting the breath and the movement. Inhale. Exhale. Nice and slow, really focused and present. Again, breathe in, arms stretch up. Breathe out, arms float down. Now we'll add on and do a half sun salutation. So inhale, arms stretch out and up. And then exhale, bend your knees and forward fold. Let your arms float forward. Fold here. Maybe reach back to grab your calves or your ankles. Let your head drop towards the floor. Good. Then bring your hands to your shins. Look forward with a flat back. Sweep your arms to the sides. Rise up. And then maybe even a little back bend at the top. Press your hips forward. Good. And then hands come together. Lower them to your heart. Breath in. Exhale. Bring your arms down by your sides. And then inhale, sweep your arms out to the sides and up. Take your right hand to your left wrist. And then reach up and over to the side. Good. Think about pulling your top shoulder back, side bend. Nice. And then back to center. Switch your grip. Maybe a little bend of your knees. Reach up, a little higher, and then side bend. Good. Back to center. Bend your elbows to like a cactus position. Maybe open your chest a little. Good. And then bend your knees and forward fold. Good. See if you can bring your hands together behind your back. Squeeze your palms. And then reach your arms up and over. A little shoulder stretch. Good. And then release your arms. Sweep your arms forward as you come back up to stand. Good. And then lower your arms down. With your feet about hip width distance apart, bend your knees. You can bring your arms out in front of you like this, or maybe hands together. See if you can lift your heels up. And then lower your heels. Let your knees be kind of bent here. Go lift and lower, lift and lower. Now lift just your left heel and then your right heel. Then kind of pedaling out your feet, waking up the ankles, the feet. Good. Now both feet, heels lift, bend your knees, sit a little bit lower. Good. And then lower your heels, lower your bum, kind of squat down, and then stand up. Let your arms sway. So squat down, stand up, let your arms kind of sway. Good. Good. Come to stand, bring the feet together. Bend your knees, bring your hands onto your knees and circle around like this. Circle, circle, and then switch and circle in the other direction. Good. Come up to stand. Step your feet wide toward the edges of the mat and make some circles through your hips. Good. You can place your hands on your hips or let your arms kind of relax by your sides. Good. And then switch to go the other direction. Good. And then back to center. Feet right underneath your hips. Circle your shoulders up, back, and around. And then stretch your left arm up. And then circle it back and around like you're doing a backstroke. And then right arm up, back, and around. Couple little openings for your shoulder, your chest. Circle up, back, and around. Nice. Good. Now stretch both arms up. Bring your right arm back and your left arm forward. And all the way up. So think that deep like mind-body connection. Sweep. And then switch directions. Right arm forward, left arm back. Sweep. Good. And then both arms lift up. Hinge up and over to the right. Maybe that left hand is on your bottom hip. Good. Back up to center and then switch. Good. Back up to center. Now bring your feet together. Bend your knees, sit your seat low. Stretch your arms high, chair pose. So imagine you're sitting back in a chair. Reach up. Good. Sit low. And then hands to the mat, fold in. Lengthen your spine as you gaze forward. Plant your hands. Walk your feet back to plank pose. Now you can always modify and drop to your knees from here. Otherwise, shift forward, chaturanga. Good. Upward facing dog or cobra. Back to downward facing dog. Now see if you can hold this downward dog for 3 deep breaths. So spread your fingers wide. Try to work your heels down. Ray, walk your hands back a little closer to your feet. Yeah. Lift your hips up, up, up. Bend your knees a lot. Lift your hips high. And then work to straighten your heel or straighten your legs, heels down, chest to thigh. Good. Now reach your right leg up and back behind you, nice and high. Here and we'll break the downward dog. We'll take it in lower yogi push-up. Good. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Exhale. Stretch your left leg up and back. Come forward to plank, knee to chest. And then step your left foot forward between your hands. Drop your back knee down. Good. Now shift your hips back. And shift your hips forward. So rock and roll your hips. Bend your front knee and straighten it. A little bend and straighten. Good. And then hold your front leg straight. Draw back over that leg. Kind of pull your left heel towards your right knee. Good. Maybe kind of turn your toes out or in. Fold. Might feel like a really deep, good stretch. Good. And then bend into your front knee again. Shift forward. Good. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee up. And rise up, high lunge. Drop your shoulders down. Nice deep bend of your front knee. Maybe you draw back through your right heel. See if you can feel a stretch along the front of that right hip flexor. Good. Lower your hands. Left leg goes back to down dog. Now hold downward dog or take a flow. Shift forward to plank. Lower yogi push up with your knees down or just hovering down together. Upward dog or cobra. Press back to a child's pose. Maybe you go palms up here. Good. Lengthen through your spine. Breathe in. Exhale. Put your arms a little farther forward. And then rise up to tabletop position. Breathe in. Exhale. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. And then stretch your right leg up and back. Step your right foot forward and spin your back heel down. Rise up for warrior one. So think hips forward, ribs forward. That back foot is spinning down. Reach your arms up. Maybe roll your wrists a little bit. Good. Then open to the side of the mat for warrior two. Nice deep bend of your front knee. Think knee over the middle of the foot. Arms stretch out wide. You can circle your shoulders a little bit. Maybe circle your shoulders around, back and down. Good. Now look forward over that front fingertip. Good. And then straighten your arms and legs. And then bend and lower down. Inhale, arms and legs straighten. Exhale, bend and lower. One more time, rise up. Lower down. Hold it low. And then reverse your warrior. Take it back. Good. Rise up, extended side angle. Front forearm to thigh, top arm up and over. Good. Rise up. And now straighten your front leg. You can heel toe your back foot in to shorten your stance. Good. Preparing for triangle pose. So reach that front arm forward and then see if you can bring it down on your shin, ankle, or the mat. And feel that length through your right side waist. Good. And then slowly rise back up. Reverse your triangle. Good. And then spin around to face forward. Bring your right foot over to the right, your left foot to the left. Three hands to the heart. And then extend forward about halfway. Good. And then fold. So pyramid pose. Maybe walk your hands back even. You can have your hand resting on your leg. Good. Now place your hands down, bend your front knee, and walk it over to the right. Drop your left knee down. So come into a low lunge. Good. Maybe you shift side to side here. You could also twist your right hand inside your right and keep working. Good. Then lower your hand and step your right leg back to tabletop position. Breathe in. Exhale. And just really pay attention. Notice how you feel. Inhale. And exhale. And then tuck your toes and lift your hips, down dog. Stretch your left leg up and back. And then step it forward. Spin your back heel down. Rise up for warrior one. So think hips forward, ribs forward, nice deep bend of your front knee. Stretch your arms high, maybe roll your wrists a little bit. Drop your shoulders down. Good. And then turn to the side of the mat, open for warrior two. Good. See if you can kind of circle your knees around a little, your hips, maybe roll your shoulders. And then gaze forward. Make sure that front knee is going over the middle of the foot. Arms out. Good. Now straighten your arms and your legs. Inhale. Exhale, bend and lower down. Inhale, arms and legs. Exhale, lower. One more time, rise up. Lower down. Now hold in your warrior two. Hold. And then reverse it. Right hand down, left arm goes up and over. Keep bending your front knee nice and deep. Good. Rise back up. Extended side angle. Bring that front arm forward. Top arm up and over. Good. Rise back up and then straighten your front leg. Heel toe your back foot in a little, shortening your stance. Triangle pose. Stretch your left arm forward, 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 and then bring your hand down onto your knee, the shin, maybe the ankle. Stretch your right arm up. Feel that length through your right side waist. Your chest back, hips forward, so nice. Good, and then rise back up. Turn your right foot to the right, step your left foot up and over to the left. Good, so squaring your hips, maybe hands behind you or at your heart. Good, extend forward, hold, or then come all the way down. Good, you rock your hips side to side. Nice stretch there. Good, now bend your front knee, slide your left leg back, and then walk your left foot over to the left for a low lunge. Good. You can bring your hands down, forearms. You can press your hand inside that inner thigh. Move side to side. Good. Then lower your hands and slide your left leg back into tabletop position. Move your hips from side to side. Good. And then bring your hips back to your heels. Sit on your shins. Maybe shoulders over your hips, arms stretch out in front of you. Good. Pause. And see if you can lift your spine really tall and breathe from the low belly, kind of up to the middle lobes of the lungs, the upper lobes of the lungs, and exhale the top, the middle, and the low lobes of the lungs. So really filling up, emptying out. Breathe in, breathe out. So we'll do one more round of some standing postures and then get into some deep stretches. How are you guys doing? Is it too hot out here? Do you want to go inside? Does anyone want to spin around so the sun's behind you? You want to go inside? You can, what's your opinion? How are you guys doing? Does it feel a lot harder like in the sun? Okay, so we'll just do one more round of standing poses. So find your downward dog, spread your fingers, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and down. Good, and then walk your feet forward and come into a little squat, malasana. Go heels in, toes out, bend your knees, sit low, maybe hands to the heart. And then option here to play with an arm balance, crow pose. Hands come down, spread your fingers wide, bring your knees on your triceps, and think about shifting forward and maybe lifting your toes up one at the same time or both. You can even come to crow and then put your head down in front of you for tripod headstand. And this might be a good place to practice. It's a little softer. Shift forward, forward, forward. Nice. And then everyone come in that little squat so you can get your heels down. Good. And then rise to stand. Stretch your arms up. Maybe back bend. Good. Hands come to your heart. Pause here. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Lower your arms down. Oh my gosh, my neck is like burning hot. Is that just you guys are wearing socks? That's smart. Good. So lower your arms. Inhale. Stretch your arms up. Good. Now bring your left knee in towards your chest and see if you can kind of balance it there. Good. And then take a twist towards the gym. Good. So towards chambers. Good. Keep your leg lifting. Good. Bring your hands to your heart. And then see if you can straighten your leg forward. And then maybe sweep it back behind you for a warrior three. And chest down, leg up. Maybe bend that standing leg. Nice. And then come back up. Bring your right knee in and your left knee. So arms can go up and overhead or out to the side. So think like a little march. Point your toe and spring off the front of your foot. And then balance on your left leg. Bring your right knee up and in. You're gonna hold it there with control. Knee and hip in one line. Then open your arms to a T and twist. Good, towards whatever building that is. What's that building? The field house. Good, twist, twist, twist. Good, come back to center. See if you can maybe straighten that leg, lift it high. Good, and then sweep it back behind you. Chest down, leg up. Balancing here in your warrior three or airplane pose. Maybe bend your standing leg a little. Good, come up and then march. With your right leg and your left, arms overhead or out to a T. Lift, lift, lift. Good, lower, arms down. Bring your right foot into tree pose. So you can just lift your heel. Bring the sole of the foot into your calf or the thigh. Good, hands at your heart. And really push your foot into your leg into your foot, hands to the heart. If anyone feels really flexible, you can also put your foot on top of that thigh and draw your knee down for half lotus. Even reach your other hand behind you. You can even try to bring your other hand to that foot and then maybe fold. Yeah. Not easy. Good. Now bring that tree, cross your ankle over your thigh like this. And see if you can stretch your arms forward. Figure four. Yeah, awesome. Good. And then come to stand. And then just swing that leg. And swing your arms a little bit. Good. Everything a little bit of a shake, 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 shake. Good. And then get still for a moment. Breathe. Maybe hands at the heart. Good. Get nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Shift your weight to the left foot. And bring your right foot into tree pose. So you can go sole the foot into your thigh, cuff, maybe toes down to the ankle to ankle. Good, now really put your foot into your leg into your foot. Get nice and tall so you can balance. Good, maybe you can even bring the foot on top of your thigh. Think lotus pose, knee draws down. Good. You have that, maybe your left hand reaches back, that's your right forearm. Yeah, you can even try to reach back and grab your toes with the other leg. Maybe fold. Good. And then rise up and cross that ankle over your thigh to release the tree and sit low. Touch your foot, maybe arms stretch forward. Good. Rise up and then release that leg and just let it swing with your arm forward. So we're going to do 2 more balancing postures. So the first one is eagle pose. Reach your arms out to a T and then cross your right elbow underneath your left so both the forearms and the wrists, palms touch. Good. So some of you that might not work, so just go elbow underneath your elbow and then maybe opposite shoulders, or you can go like this. Good. And then see if you can lift your elbows and lower. If you can do the double wrap, you can do it to the left. Good. Now bend your knees and sit low like you're going to sit back in a chair. See if you can lift your right leg over the left and cross it. So maybe the foot comes down. You double wrap behind your back. Yeah, awesome. Good, good, good. Hold. And come up and release. Uncross your legs, sweep your arms up and over. And then switch, go left elbow underneath your right. So both the forearms and the wrists, maybe palms touch. You can go hands on opposite shoulders. Good, and then lift your elbows, lower, lift, lower. Good, and then bend your knees. Sit low so you can cross your left leg up and over your right. So you can just cross it and hold. Maybe the foot comes to the mat. Maybe you double wrap it behind your standing prayer. Good. And then rise up, uncross your legs, across your arms stretch high, and then lower them down with a little bend of your knees. Slow, gently, back and forth. Lifting your spine. And then come to center. Bring your weight onto the left foot. Bend your right knee and grab your heel. Good. And you can just hold here, maybe both hands reach for that foot and see if you can feel a stretch along the front of the leg. Good. Or you can reach your right hand to the heel, reach your left arm forward, and then start to kick your leg up with your chest. Kick your chest forward, kick your leg up, kick, 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 reach, 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 really go for it, kick, and release it. Nice. Let that leg kind of swing a little bit. Good. Back to mountain pose. Kind of pause and settle. Breathe in. Exhale. Good. And then bend your other leg. Grab your heel behind you. You can kind of pull your front hip bone back. Feel a stretch in the front of the leg. Maybe both hands to the foot. Maybe grab the inside of the ankle with that hand. Reach your front arm forward. And then kick your leg up and back. Reach your chest forward. Stretch your arms forward. Kick, 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 reach, 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 lift, lift, lift. Good, and then release, really nice, swing that leg. Good, walk to the very top of your mat. Feet together, hands to the heart. Inhale. Exhale. Now bend your knees and sit low into your chair pose. Good, now see if you can lift your heels. And then see if you can bring your knees forward into a little toe stand, hands at your heart. Shoulders back over your hips. See if you can straighten your spine. Good, knees forward. Good. And then see if you can close your eyes here and balance. Awesome. Open your eyes. Keep your feet together. Open your knees wide. Flip your arms forward. Good. And then lower your bottom to the mat. Keep your legs out in front of you. So boat pose. Hands to the thighs. Maybe balanced. Good. See if you can come down to a low boat. Legs forward, arms up. And then lift to boat pose. Come down low boat. Lift up. One more time. Go low. Come high. Good. And then lower your feet down. Let your knees sway a little side to Good. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let your knees come open. So you can bring your heels close towards your body. And then give yourself a little foot massage. Kind of move inside the inner arches of the feet. Maybe interlace your fingers between your toes. Good. And then bring your hands behind your back. So you begin with your chest. And with the strength of your leg muscles, draw your knees down. Good. So think about using your inner thighs. Do you guys feel that, like in your groin? Good. And then from here, fold forward. And see if you can kind of keep using your leg muscle strength to drop your knees open and down. And then rise up. Bring your shoulders up towards your ears, back and around. Shimmy your shoulders. And then bring your hands outside the knees, draw your legs in. And then hands behind your back. Plant your feet down. And then lift your hips up, reverse table. Then lower your hips down. Good. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Flex your foot like this. And then just move a little side to side. And see if you can feel that stretch in your outer right foot. Good. Now you can hold here or come onto your back, grab behind your thigh, and lie down. You can grab the front of that shin. Good. Now keep that and move your body, your legs over to the left. Yeah, so you're going to come onto the outside, that left leg. And then open your arms out to a T and gaze to the right. Good. And then slowly come back to center. Release all that. Place your feet down with your knees bent. Sway your knees side to side. And then stretch your legs up into the air. Stretch your arms up and give everything a big shake. Shake it out, shake it out. Good. And then still that shaking, hands behind your thighs. Roll up. Good. And then place your feet down. Good. Switch your legs. Left foot on top of your right thigh. Flex your foot. And then here, maybe kind of rock side to side. Where are you guys feeling that stretch? Yeah, good. Yeah, so like outer hip there. And you can even kind of walk your chest a little closer to your leg if that works. If it feels extra tight, extend your bottom leg farther open. Good. And then from here, come onto your back. You can grab behind your right thigh and lie down. So figure four. You can also bring your hand on top of the right shin. Maybe let your head and neck and shoulders relax down. Breathe here. See if you can make your inhales a little longer and your exhales a little longer. And then let your legs drop over to the right. Open your arms out to a T and gaze to the left. Good. See if you can feel a stretch along the front of your left chest and shoulder. Breathe. And then come back to center. Uncross your legs. Stretch your legs up towards the sky. Stretch your arms up. Give everything a nice shake again. Good. And then bend your knees and put your feet down on the mat. Let your arms come low and long. Lift your hips for bridge pose. Good. So lift your hips here and see if you can kind of pull your heels towards your hips. Engage your glutes a little. Maybe squeeze. Good. And then slowly lower your hips down. Good. And then again, press into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips for bridge, or bring your hands behind your shoulders. Straighten your arms and legs for full wheel pose. Yeah, nice. Like a back bend in gymnastics. Nice. lower all the way down. Good. Bend your knees into your chest. Again, squeeze, move your rock side to side. Good. Now let your right leg go long and reach your left leg up towards the sky. Drop behind your foot, roll your ankle. Good. And then option to walk your leg back towards you a little more. Maybe walk your hands up the leg. Good. Lower down. Now open your leg over to the side. Maybe anchor your right hand on top of your right hip. You can also have your leg bent here. And then bring it all the way back up. Lift it high. And then lower your leg down. Legs are long, arms come down. Breath in. Exhale. Good. Bend your left knee into your chest. Give a squeeze. And then stretch it up towards the sky. Bring your hand behind your leg. Roll your ankle. And option to really flex your foot. Walk your hand up the leg. Draw it in towards you. Nice and straight. Good. Lower down and then open your leg over to the side. You can bend your knee and open it or straighten it. Maybe anchor your left hand on top of your left hip. And bring your leg back to center and cross it over just a little bit. So bring your leg back up and then slowly lower it down. Let your legs go long, let your arms come down, full breath in, and then exhale. Now bring your feet together, stretch your arms up and overhead, deep breath in, and then exhale, round up, sit up, and then maybe stretch your fingers, close your toes. Good. Rise back up, and then swing your legs around. Bring your knees together and see if you can bring your feet to the edges of the mat to sit back between your heels. This is called Virasana, hero pose, and that might feel really bad for some of you. So you can also just sit on your feet like this. Good. Or you can just have a regular seat cross-legged position. Is this really uncomfortable for anyone? Feel really tight? You? Where does it feel uncomfortable? In your knees? Top to the thighs? Good. So what about if you brought your knees wider apart and then sat down? Feel bad? A little bit better? Good. So if this feels bad, let's actually all come into a comfort. Unless you really like that. Good. So sit nice and tall, maybe shift side to side. And then again, squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, shoulders drop. Inhale, shoulders squeeze. Exhale, shoulders drop. One more time. Squeeze and lift. And then circle your shoulders down, back, and down. Shoulders a little shake. And then again, if your knees are high or if you're kind of rounded back, if this is uncomfortable, stretch your legs straight and sit tall. Then we're just going to do a little bit of meditation here. So get in a comfortable seated position, sit tall, and let your eyes close. And then see if you can get any of the wiggles out to really get still in your body. And then start to bring your attention into the senses. So notice what you're hearing right now. A truck, maybe a buzzing, construction or other vehicle. Maybe you're at home and it's quiet. Maybe you hear some birds or insects. Maybe you hear some traffic. And just get very sensitive to what you're hearing. And now get really sensitive with your tactile sense, so what you're feeling on your skin. Maybe it's a little breeze, sun, the air, the temperature. Maybe you feel the material of your clothes on your body. So just really paying attention to how and what you're feeling. And bring your attention into your sense of smell. So see if you can label any smell you might see. Maybe it's air or astroturf or your deodorant or a perfume. So breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And really pay attention to what you're smelling. And bring your attention to your sense of taste. So notice kind of the taste inside your mouth. And you can almost feel your tongue. Just paying attention to what's going on inside your mouth. Your sense of taste. And then bring your attention into your sight. So with your eyes closed, notice what color you see. Is it red or black? And almost imagine the eyelids resting on your eyeballs. Your eyelids be heavy. And then just noticing sensation here. What you hear, what you feel, what you smell, what you taste, and what you see. That's it. And now see if you can get really focused and tuned in to right here in this moment, to your breath. So just breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Let your belly expand and contract. Full breath in, full breath out. Now deeply exhale. Notice where your mind goes, if it's wandering to another place, if you're distracted by something. Keep bringing your attention right here, noticing, feeling, and breathing. Now, I want you to repeat in your mind and finish this sentence. I'm grateful for. I am grateful for, and then you finish that sentence. I'm grateful for this body, son, my education, professors, my friends, my family. So finish that sentence. I am grateful for. Grateful for your cell phone, for your freedom, for opportunities, for your future, for clean drinking water, for running water, for food choices you'd like to eat, for maybe your car if you have one, all of your possessions for a safe place to live, any material thing you might own you feel grateful for. I'm grateful for a sense of community, for people in my network, whatever it is you feel the most grateful for. Now from here, you need to lie down on your back for final relaxation. So if you have something to put over your face, it might feel good to put something on top of your eyes. and get any wiggles out. So you can kind of move your feet, your hips, your legs, maybe shimmy your shoulders a little bit. Move your head side to side. Get all of your wiggles out. And then get quiet and still. So final relaxation pose, Shavasana. Take a deep breath in and then let a full breath out. Take a full breath in and then nice long, slow exhale, let it go. One more deep breath in, complete breath out. Now bring your attention into your feet. Feel your feet and let your feet relax. The toes, the soles of the feet, through your ankles. And without moving, just feel and notice, bring your attention up to the ankles, the calves and the shins. And as you bring your attention up that area of your body, see if you can let it relax. And then start to move your attention up through your knees, your shins, your thighs, your hamstrings. And let your body deeply relax here. Relax into your pelvis, your glutes, the bowl of your pelvis. Lower body is relaxed. And then move up into the belly. Relax your belly. And then the front of the body through your chest. Feel your right shoulder. Let your right shoulder relax. Feel your left shoulder and let your left shoulder relax. And then feel the back of the body touching the mat, the shoulder blades, the upper back, mid and lower back, relax. Up and down either side of your spine, soften. Relax into the shoulders and then down to the right arm, down to the elbow, the forearm and the wrist. Relax the back of the hand, the palm of the hand and each finger on your right arm. Breath in, exhale. And then move back to the top of the right shoulder and then feel the center of your chest relax. And then move into your left shoulder. Let your left shoulder relax. Down your left arm to your elbow, your forearm and your wrist. Back of the hand, palm of the hand and each finger. Let the left arm completely relax here, breathing, softening. Move your attention back up the arm into your shoulder, and then come to across the clavicle, the collarbones into the base of the neck. Relax the throat, the back of the neck, the tops of the shoulders. And then feel that movement, attention go all the way up the back of your head. Feel the skull, the forehead, the face. Relaxing the eyebrows and the temples, the nose, the cheeks, the jaw, the mouth, the teeth, the tongue. Let the breath be very natural, flowing. Let your internal organs relax. Feel your skin softening off the muscles. Let your muscles soften off the bones Allow your bones to feel heavy. Shavasana, deep rest. Slowly start to come back into your body, deepening the breath. Breathing in, letting go. Full breath in, complete breath out. And now mindfully pay attention to how you feel now. Maybe the difference with how you feel now and how you felt when we first started class. Breathe in, exhale. And then gently and slowly start to wiggle through your fingers and your toes. Rotate through your ankles and your wrists. Turn your head from side to side. And then stretch your arms up and your feet down. Lengthen your body from the top to the bottom. Stretch. And then soften everything down. And notice if it was easy or challenging to kind of drop into that rest place. Inhale. Exhale. Now when you're ready, start to just wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your head side to side. Stretch up, stretch down. And then bend your knees in. Give yourself a squeeze. Rock side to side. And then roll to your right side. Pause. And then press your way up to a seated position. Good. Taking your time, bring your hands together at your heart. Let your palms touch. Good. And just really showing up and noticing the difference between maybe how you feel now and how you felt when we first began. So may this practice bring us benefits, strengthening and opening our body, helping us feel more calm and less reactive, hopefully deepening our relationships. And may the benefits of this yoga practice help you and all the people around you. Namaste. All right. Good job, everyone. How are we feeling? Better? Good. Nice. Maybe a little more stretched out. Zoom, you guys, I'm sorry. I think it was a little in and out for a while, but is it clear now? We're good now? Ish. My computer was also making noises that was like overheating, so I was afraid I was going to completely lose you, but it's not. I'm trying to create some shade. Do you guys need a break? You want to take a break? All right. Let's take 5 and then come back and we'll do a little bit of lecture. And does anyone want to go into the shade? Yeah. Should we go onto the stadium bleachers? That looks shady. Does that work? Okay. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll come back 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll come back at 12:48. Could you guys hear me okay? Or like not so much? How was the sound? Bad, medium, good?